The heck is that dude wearing on his head?
Like, she's still
Fucking
swimming.
seriously?
It's been like 2 days.
She swam all the way across the sea. Don't believe that shit. Do not buy it.
They want to make sure you know what a badass she is.
Which her name, she's Galadriel. We should already know. Valinor is not a death cult. It's a real place.
What didn't you like about it?
I'm not into the hobbits.
Why not?
They're not supposed to be in the story. They're not there. They are literally a non-entity in this whole situation.
But that's why they're perfect for the show, because they can do whatever they want with them.
It's just fluff.
Total creative freedom.
Yeah, but like, what's the
What's so bad about having them there?
Because you're literally just doing exactly what you did with Lord of the Rings. You're like copying and pasting with these Hobbit characters. Oh,
Not really.
Let's have a Baggins type Hobbit character who doesn't fit in with everyone else because she's adventurous and she wants to go do stuff. And everyone else says, no, stay home and don't do stuff. And she's like, no, I'm going to go do stuff. And let me guess, she's going to go do stuff. And she's got her chubby little Samwise Gamgee friend tagging along with her.
Hey, no body shaming here.
It's literally Frodo and Sam. Just girls.
What's so bad about that? I mean, as long as she's as great as Sam.
Because we did that already. You're doing the same thing you did before.
Right? Yeah, I do like that. But the hobbits aren't just the same hobbits. They're more rustic. They haven't made their way to the Shire yet.
Well,
that
at least does make sense.
I kind of wish there was more action scenes, though. I thought we were going to kind of get some, like, in the tunnel with the elf there. But, no. They really teased us with the frost troll, or the ice troll.
I mean, they're not the same two characters in that the friend is Sam in personality, but you have two hobbits. One's the tag-along, one's the lead. They're best friends, and they're going on an adventure against everyone else's decisions. I'm having a hard time. Sorry, I am struggling with this.
The only thing I'm worried about, I guess, like I said, I really like it, but there's so many like love interests. It's like we have the man-human, and the elf lady, and then you have the human woman and the elf man.
Yeah, I don't care about those two characters at all. I'm not invested in them at all, whatsoever.
No, I'm not invested in the love interest. I could have done without those, but I mean, we'll see how the characters are. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know all they're doing is taking care of Gandalf that fell from the sky. I get that. Also, why does Gandalf not? If that is Gandalf, why is he? Did he have a brain injury when he fell? Is that why he's not understanding anything?
I mean, he did fall pretty hard.
He's not. It doesn't make any sense that he would be so clueless, I guess. I don't know.
It's not that he's clueless. The man just hit his head and forgot how to speak.
Is that what happened? I'm genuinely asking. Is that what happened?
He's also
No, he would know. That's the whole thing. He does know. He is a Maiar. He knows everything about Middle Earth. He understands all of it. He would be able to like communicate with the elves and things if he landed on Earth. Like, He wouldn't just be like a newborn baby landing
Maybe
on Earth.
maybe he doesn't want to communicate. Or maybe he did just hit his head that hard. He did that weird thing where he like absorbed the fire and then passed out and the fire just came back. Maybe he needs to replenish his energy. I don't know.
But he wouldn't have to. He wouldn't have to learn. He has been there since the creation of Middle Earth.
That's true. Gandalf didn't remember he was Gandalf when he first came back. I like it because this kind of shows why Gandalf has that relationship with the hobbits.
I mean, I get it. I guess I just am not.
So I don't think they're just shoehorning the hobbits in for no reason just to have their Frodo and Samwise. I think it's to build Gandalf and explain like his relationship with the hobbits later on.
Okay.
And maybe like in a later episode he's gonna learn the magic of fireworks from the elves. He gets there because we saw the fireworks.
I know.
And, you know they were all right, but they weren't Gandalf levels. All right.
I don't know. Don't care. I'm not invested.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, this is not extra made up characters and subplots that I just don't care about.
See, I thought I would be here like, I don't really care because I've never read the Silmarillion, and you would be all about it, like, oh my god, this character, oh, they brought in this character, oh my god.
Because they didn't do that. Half of these characters are not in the story.
The story's just getting started.
There are 3 or 4 that are actually in the story.
Story is just getting started. I am really interested to hear from like some true like Tolkien nerds, like people who have really just studied the Silmarillion. Yeah, you know, I'm talking about like Colbert.
Yeah,
like the man that can recite the Silmarillion word for word from memory.
I thought there were some like nice touches, like saying Owley. All the mentions of Owley were cool. Finrod, Pelegund, Galadriel's relative there, bringing that up. He's actually a very important character. His death is a very big deal.
And what's up with the Sauron sword? That thing has me really interested. Because it like started materializing. Like, is he back? Is that boy gonna turn into Sauron?
God, I hope not.
You know, he kind of reminds me of the boy from Deadpool 2, Fire Fist. So it would actually be great if he turns into Sauron.
If that little boy becomes Sauron, I will hate this show. I will hate it very much.
We did already see Sauron, but that was like past Sauron. And then we fast forwarded to
the shadow has supposedly disappeared from the world.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like that was in the past that we saw Sauron. And then he apparently disappeared. And now this boy found his sword, I guess.
No, how this little twerp fits into the thing with the sword. I've watched 2 episodes of House of the Dragon, and I am invested in all of those individuals in that show.
Really?
Yes. Hardcore.
Why?
Because they're awesome, and I know who they are, because they show you exactly who they are. I mean, with very, very subtle storytelling.
I'm invested in the show because it looks awesome. Same with this show. But I don't know enough about the characters to be invested in it yet. This show or House of the Dragon.
I thought those characters were more well fleshed out with the same amount of screen time. Like, you know who they are and what their motivations are and what their quirks are. Whereas some of these characters in this show are still very wooden and just kind of there to drive the plot.
You know what? I'll give that to you. They definitely haven't spent enough time on developing each individual character. Like, I feel like they introduced a lot of characters at once, where maybe they should have given us at least one character where we get to know a little bit better, then throw in the other ones and let us develop them for a while. But I don't know. That's a small complaint.
Like, the biggest character we got a feel for was Galadriel. But she's even very stereotypical. I'm a badass warrior and I'm going to seek revenge for my dead relatives, and I'm a badass and I'm cold. Don't talk to me.
They should have developed her a little bit more, yeah. But
And then the elf warrior and the human lady, they're just placeholders for plot development.
Yeah. Like, that elf and the lady are really just there so that child can have the sword of Sauron. Not tell his mother that he has this glowy sword that is materializing in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sauron or the orcs come to retrieve it, and they're like, oh my god, why are they following us? And then the boy will finally be like, maybe it's because I have this glowy thing?
Which would be stupid.
I mean, it's cliche, but it's just how stories go.
Yeah. But that's boring.
I think you just want to hate this show.
The cliche would work if there were characters that I liked and was invested in. You can do cliche, but you have to make the characters likable and investment worthy.
Fair enough. I mean, I guess I will give House of the Dragon. It has Hightower, who's great, and
Daemon
is pretty cool.
Even Viserys is a great character.
He is.
He's a weak ass dude, but 2 episodes in, he's a weak ass dude. He's bad at making decisions. These things about all these characters.
That's true. But Martin's strength lies in his characters. Tolkien is world building and storytelling. So really, I mean, you look at any of the Lord of the Rings books, the main part of the story really isn't the characters themselves, but the story that's happening around each character.
The characters are still compelling and complex.
I mean, that's true. But, I mean, early on, who was the most compelling and complex characters? It was the hobbits. And honestly, that was only because Sam and Pippin were the greatest characters. And then you run into Tom Bombadil.
Tom Bombadil is fucking great.
Exactly.
He's awesome.
There's nuances to the culture of characters in this. All the stuff the hobbits did to hide. That is true. I thought that was really cool how they showed them hiding.
Hiding from the big people?
Yeah, just super camouflage, super stealthy. How hobbits did it before they
settled down,
found their own place in the world. I do want to know what's up with those hunters. The big freaking moose antlers on their backs. And that I forgot about that. Yeah, oh man, I didn't talk about that in the first one because you were kind of complaining about the first episode. But yeah, what is with that book? The one Hobbit was reading.
I don't know, because
it had
they're not psychics and fortune tellers and prophecy seekers, these
No,
hobbits.
maybe it's not a Hobbit's book. Maybe they found it. Maybe it was one of the Bigfoots.
The Bigfoots.
Yeah. No, because it showed the big hunters, and then it showed like the dogs.
I know, in the image in the book. Yeah.
And then we see them at the berry patch. Well, nothing came of it. I wonder if like next episode, something's gonna happen where they get attacked, and then Gandalf is gonna like snap out of his funk and just destroy everything.
I know that for some of that section of the episode, I definitely missed some of the dialogue because I didn't hear some things because it was so quiet. So what were they were they talking about how the hunters are foretelling some bad shit is coming?
No. He just looked in the book.
Okay.
And he saw the hunters, and then it was like 2 of the dogs following him.
Okay.
And then he looks all concerned, and someone comes over and it's like, is everything okay? What was with the hunters? Yeah. He's like, oh, it's nothing at all. And, like, shuns her.
Oh.
But then we see them in the berry patch.
With the wolf thing shows up, or the warg, or whatever.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Which, gotta figure out what's going on with that. Yeah, and
what are you doing?
I thought it was fun with them like climbing the wall and everything. You give us all this action. I guess my biggest complaint is the fact that they gave us all that action, all of those awesome scenes in the beginning, and then the next episode and a half was just kind of setup.
I think,
like, you can do setup.
I think that intro was supposed to be your just your background information.
Well, I know, but and then you got to do the setup. But
that wasn't the clearest setup, I don't think.
I mean, I feel
it was, but they could have given you more information about what had transpired before where we are right now.
I think the other thing was that like Leviathan looking creature, the Mosasaurus of Middle Earth.
The big sea
that
monster
was
thing.
Awesome.
It had like wings, didn't it? Under the water.
I think that was its tail. I think it had like a whale tail.
The big worm.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah.
Well, we'll probably never see it again.
Like she was looking at its tail as it was going down.
Yeah, but then she saw it straight on coming at them, I thought.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I thought it had like big wing things.
It had like big, like Godzilla dorsal fin things.
No, under the water. I thought it had like these big arms under the water.
Its fins?
Yeah, but they were huge. They looked like wings almost. That's what I thought.
Fins kind of look like wings.
You don't know what I'm talking about at all. That's okay. It might be a worm. I don't know. There's no descriptions of like water dragons, but there could be some kind of monster.
Well, it's not a dragon; it's a worm.
Balrog is technically described as a worm, but he's a dragon. He's a flightless dragon.
Look, just because someone else makes a mistake doesn't mean we have to.
Tolkien called him a worm. He's a worm. He's a dragon.
Even geniuses can make mistakes, I guess.
He was the first dragon, the great worm. Balrog, the awful.
Like I said, we all make mistakes.
Are they just laughing at us this whole time?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll get to see how House of the Dragon stacks up with episode 3 after we watch Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. We will have to stream after House of the Dragon episode 3. See how it compares.
Mm. I had fun. I like this show.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying
You are saying it's bad.
it's okay. It's not terrible. I'm just.
So, what would you prefer they would have done?
If you want to introduce all these extra characters,
Yeah.
make me like them. Make them compelling. Give them something that I can latch onto to relate to. Don't just throw in like another. Oh, here's a human and an elf in love. They don't have any personality. Can't even remember their names. Here we go. They're in love with each other.
I want to look up a quick. I want to see what ratings they're getting. Woohoo! 3.1. You are apparently not the only one who is disliking the show. Right now it has a 3.1 rating.
Elves definitely outlive humans. Elves live forever unless they're killed. Humans are mortal. That's part of the whole conflict between humans and elves. Humans are jealous that elves can live forever, and they use many means to try and obtain eternal life, which is what makes them so susceptible to Sauron's manipulation. That's a human flaw, and human mortality play a big part of what happens with the rings of power. It plays a huge role.
Wait, what plays a huge role?
They asked if elves outlive humans. Humans being mortal and elves being immortal. Eru gifted elves with the gift of eternal life. Eru gifted humans with the gift of mortal life.
Yeah, I'm looking up some reviews right now. Let's see. What is the New York Times? Where's IMDb?
I don't know.
Get out of here. Get.
Reddit. Oh, it says IMDb down in the search thing. The related searches.
Where? Oh. You are walking all over stuff.
Amazon suspends ratings.
What? What?
Wait, hang on. The audience score is a rotten 37.
Oh my god.
TV critics are giving it an 83. It's great, gorgeously immersive, grand list, and packed with stunning imagery and compelling plot. What compelling plot threads? I do not care about
the sword.
I don't care about the sword. I don't care about the sword. I don't care. This kid has it. He's gonna do some stupid shit with it because it's a evil sword, and whatever. He's gonna fuck up everybody's day because he's like, "Oh, the evil sword. I better hide this shit." That's what's gonna happen.
That's great. When they just ban reviews, you know it's pretty bad. Oh, no, I thought that took me to Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, I figured it would be the first one on here. Let's see.
There it is, right there. Audience score.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Audience is trashing it.
Oh,
but the critics really liked it.
Yeah. See, this is what I mean. Like, me coming in with a fresh mindset as someone who hasn't read the Silmarillion, I'm like, I mean, they're just setting it up. Let's just see where it goes. But apparently, people who have read the Silmarillion are like, what the fuck?
I'm curious to see what that guy, Nerd of the Rings, thought about it. Well, what are they saying about? Well, compare it. What are they saying?
Oh,
about,
you want me to look up House of the Dragon?
Yeah, see
All right,
how
let's see.
they feel about it.
House of the Dragon. Let's go.
Whoa!
80 Whoa! Damn. That's what I mean. It's just a different story. That's why I think, as someone who hasn't read the Silmarillion, I'm just kind of like, whatever.
They're taking the story from the Silmarillion. That's where the story comes from. It's the last story.
Well,
in the
I know,
book.
but you were saying like they didn't really get into details about her story, and then the hobbits aren't in it. The elves aren't, so they're like kind of telling this story from a different perspective.
Galadriel's
Is
involvement.
what I had in mind.
She takes one of the rings. Right? She's given a ring of power.
Right.
She gets one.
Right.
They find out that it's all part of Sauron's plan.
Mm-hmm.
So then she's like, I'm never going to use this. But I'm going to keep it so no one else gets it. And that's literally all she does. That's pretty much it. She doesn't do anything else. She's like living in Lothlorien, minding her own fucking business. That's pretty much it.
Oh, and I have some questions why they would even choose this story to tell. Just saying.
It's a badass story, but I think they're trying to tell it because it's about the forging of the One Ring.
I mean, it is important, but you tell it from a different perspective.
And
That's the case. That she's just going to be like, it's mine. And then go to her own little shire and hold up.
The story of the Rings of Power just sets up Lord of the Rings. You get what happens to the men who become the Ring Wraiths. You see what Sauron's plot was to create the rings and all of that. Like it's and there are other characters, and it's about the fall of the elves, you know? Like, you could tie in the fall of the elves into all this, but... There are other stories in there that they could have told for sure.
And yeah, Dan, the dwarves are the best architects, and yeah, the smith is definitely going to make the rings.
He's gonna make all the rings but one.
All but one?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the One Ring.
Right, because who makes the One Ring?
Sauron?
Right.
Wait, yeah, oh yeah, he does make it, doesn't he? I forgot.
He makes the One Ring. Am I spoiling stuff by telling you this?
I don't think so, because that is told in the movie. I just didn't remember.
So he makes the One Ring while Celebrimbor forges these other rings. But Sauron teaches him how to forge this shit. He teaches him all that he needs to know about forging these rings. But in doing so, when he forges these rings, he makes them in a way that when Sauron makes the one controls all the others.
Yeah.
And then the elves figure that out, and they're like, shit. Done with this.
Not my idea of a good time.
Yeah.
That's crazy, though. It has a 35 audience.
I am kind of surprised it's got such a low rating. I didn't think it would have that low of a rating.
Right? I mean, Tolkien fans are not the most forgiving.
No. That's fair enough.
In their eyes, there is no room for interpretation. It is a perfect story how it is. And as much as it pains me to say it, they're kind of right.
People say that it's just getting review bombed by bitter people.
I mean, that seems to be a thing now, though.
And that could be possible. Tolkien people could be being real dickheads right now. That's possible that they're being douches.
That's what I mean. It just came out today. I would give it a week before we compare ratings. Because, yeah, it needs some time to, like, sit with people. We need a third episode, I think.
See, the New York Times is saying Galadriel is at least interesting. I don't know if I really find Galadriel interesting. But maybe I need to watch more. Because she definitely just seems like broad strokes right now. To me.
Well, I think that's the point. Oh, you just reading?
I'm just checking out what people are saying. Yeah. A scholar of Tolkien's works is wary of the trend to create franchises out of literary works, specifically in this case, without the deceased author's knowledge or permission. If people are disappointed, it will be because it lacks the literary and moral depth of Tolkien's world. Entertainment Weekly said it's kind of a catastrophe.
I want to see. I'm gonna go back. I want to see some written reviews. Like, we're just seeing the numbers.
And the Entertainment Weekly critics said it is dull, bland, and boring, but hopes that it will get better. I do think it's shitty.
Only 8 episodes. Okay, there's no way they can tell a decent story in 8 episodes after the first 2 wasted so much time. That's crazy. It's only gonna be 8 episodes? Really?
House of the Dragon is 10 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
But that makes sense, though. Every episode's an hour. And Game of Thrones was only ever like 13 episodes a season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 8 episodes. We're already almost...
But they also, like, built up their story really quickly. I thought maybe this was going to be, like, a 15 to, like, 18 episode season, so it was going to be, like, a slow burn. But
yeah, no. 8 episodes.
Yeah, just pumping content. I mean, they have a whole book of content they could have pumped into it, though.
Yeah, wow. There's 8 episodes, and that's how they're pacing this?
Oh, is that what they did? They're pulling from, like, Tolkien's notes? I mean, too bad Tolkien didn't, like, make journals like Da Vinci did. Those things would probably sell for more than the pages of Da Vinci's journals.
Well, Christopher has them. I don't think he's giving them up anytime soon. Or no, is he dead now?
I don't know.
The family has them, I think.
Oh, does he have journals and stuff? I mean, I know he had, like, manuscripts.
Christopher Tolkien has been publishing based off of everything J.R.R. Tolkien had written. He's got notebooks and notebooks and notebooks full of shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's tons of shit.
I gotta catch up on my Lord of the Rings. Actually, I'm gonna wait till after this season so I can enjoy this season. And then I'll catch up. Thank you for watching, and a very special thank you to our supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can head over to our Patreon or check out some of the official BiblioBibuli merch. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and until the next video, happy reading.